Hello there, and thank you very much for opening up this video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bond, James Bond. I'm an ethnic minority based in the United Kingdom, and I'm making this video today to demonstrate my view that Donald J. Trump, the Republican Party candidate, is not a racist. Okay, there have been many people saying that he's a racist, and I can tell you here and now he is not a racist. Okay, so let's go over this. He's been accused of being a racist for his stance on Muslim immigration, okay, because he wants to put a temporary moratorium or temporary stay on Muslims entering the United States until they've figured out what is going on. Notice he didn't say a permanent stay. And the other thing I've got to emphasise is I'm an ethnic minority, and as you can see, I'm wearing a Union Jack flag. I'll come on to that later. Okay. Now, I can't speak for him, but this is my own view on immigration to the UK, and I'm reasonably confident that no reasonable person will disagree with me. I've got no problem with a genuine political prisoner. I've got no problem with a genuine asylum seeker. The migrants you see coming forward are not genuine asylum seekers. They're very fit, healthy young men. Okay, where are their wives and children? And they tend to be breaking our laws when they come here. Genuine asylum seekers are very grateful to any asylum they're given. When I mean genuine asylum seeker, trust me when I say I will be the first one to welcome Nelson Mandela as a genuine political prisoner. You know, we'll all be very grateful to have him. Okay, if someone comes to the UK, this is what I'd expect from them. Okay, firstly, they must have a good command of English, or at least willing to learn. They must give an undertaking to respect our laws. They must give an undertaking to respect our culture. They must be in good health so they don't put a strain on our pride and joy, the National Health Service. They must fully integrate into UK society. And lastly, they must make a positive contribution to the UK economy and society as a whole. And I'm pretty damn certain that Donald J. Trump feels the same about any immigrant coming to the USA. Okay, I'll give you an example of this. I have a personal training client whose family came to the UK with diddly squat. They came with nothing. Sometime later on, they've got 3 supermarkets, they employ 38 people, and on average they give £8,000 a month in taxes. And I can tell you here and now, there is not one reasonable person watching this video or anywhere in the UK or America who would object to such immigrants. I'm sure that everyone watching this will warmly welcome such people. Now, Donald Trump has not said he's going to put a permanent stop on Muslims entering America. He's just said a temporary stop. And you have to remember that in the 1970s, Jimmy Carter did exactly the same thing, in a manner of speaking. During the Iran-Iraq war, he deported all Iranian students and wouldn't let anyone from Iran or Iraq come to America for reasons of security. Now, Donald Trump's stance on this is not racist whatsoever. It's all about security. Since 9/11, there have been no terrorist attacks committed by Christians, Jews, Hindus or Sikhs, but there have been over 26,000 terrorist attacks committed by Muslim people. Now, yes, I'll be the first to admit there are 1.8 billion Muslim people in this world. Of course not all of them are terrorists. In fact, I'm certain that only a tiny minority of them are. I'm sure the majority are very, very peaceful, law-abiding people. I'm sure that's the case. But you cannot tell by looking at somebody if they're a terrorist or they're a law-abiding citizen. You can't tell. So basically, he has to take that stance in the interest of national security. It has nothing to do with racism. Okay? It has absolutely nothing to do with racism whatsoever. I was there the day of the London attacks, the London bombings on the 7th of July 2005, and I can tell you how frightened the people were. It was terrifying. Okay, I saw that bomb go off. I was near Tavistock Square when it happened. People were terrified. People were worried about their loved ones. For those people who say to you that Islam is a religion of peace, tell that to the people who were there in London that day. Tell that to the victims of 9/11. Tell that to the victims of the Paris attacks. Okay? It's basically that simple. Yes, I do accept that the overwhelming majority of Muslim people are very peaceful, law-abiding people. It's only a tiny minority spoil it for them all. Okay, but the thing is, he's got no choice. Okay, Donald Trump has got no choice. At least he's the only one who is basically willing to have the guts to stand up and do something about it. On top of that, I do accept that there has been a rise in Islamophobic attacks since the Paris attacks, and I will be the first person to condemn those. Okay, they are completely unacceptable and irresponsible, and they are breaking the law. And those people who are committing such attacks should be thrown in jail. Okay, and I'm reasonably confident that Donald Trump, like any politician, will have a zero tolerance policy towards all forms of violent attacks, whether they be Islamophobic, racist, gender-based, or on people's sexual orientation. There should be a zero tolerance policy to this sort of thing, and it should be universally applied. Of course, we need to document what's going on in terms of monitoring, in terms of ethnicity, race, religion, colour, creed, or things such as that. Those things do need to be documented for statistical purposes, but there needs to be a zero tolerance policy applied uniformly. Okay. Now, the other things he wants to ban, the burqa. Now, banning the burqa is what the French have done, and it is in no way a racist matter. Banning the burqa is good for health. If that poor lady is covered up and you can only see her eyes, firstly, you don't know if it's a man or a woman underneath. Okay, it could be a terrorist. Okay, there isn't a third gender as terrorist. But the other thing is, from a health point of view, think of that poor girl underneath. She's not being exposed to sunlight. If she's not exposed to sunlight, she can't make vitamin D. If she can't make vitamin D, she can't absorb calcium. And guess what's going to happen? Under the weight of her body, the bones of her legs are going to bow. She's not going to be able to walk properly, and the treatment for rickets is extremely painful. Okay, what loving parent would want to put their child at such exposure? Okay, nobody was. Now, they say they do use the burqa to put, so that men wouldn't be tempted. Well, sorry mate, but Muslim men need to learn to treat their women with respect. Okay, we in the West pride ourselves on treating women with respect. We don't go around raping every woman just because she's wearing shorts or a miniskirt. We have respect. So basically, that is not a reason. Okay. I've also been accused of being called a racist for supporting the stance that Muslim-based schools, Muslim faith schools, should not be given state funding. Well, that's not racist at all. It's because, for the simple reason, they don't fulfill minimum standards. They don't give the same education for boys and girls. They don't teach sex education. They teach things that are illegal. Okay, such as all sorts of things. I don't need to go into those. Okay, they allow long periods of absences for illegal marriages. Bearing in mind the UK, it is illegal to get married before you're 16. So therefore, it's not racist in any way, sense or form for the British government to deny state funding for Muslim schools. It's not racist at all. It's because they don't fulfil minimum standards. So in conclusion, I just want to say that Donald J. Trump is not a racist. Okay, I fully support him. Okay, I'm an ethnic minority. The reason I support him because there are a lot of problems that America faces. Now, I can't vote for him. I'm a UK-based citizen, but at least he's willing to have the guts to do something about it. Okay, he's an entrepreneur. Now, some people have said, why should a man who's failed in business so many times be the USA president? It's because he's failed. Okay, the best business people have failed multiple times. Robert Kiyosaki will tell you that you fail your way to success because every time he's failed, he's learned. If you haven't failed enough times, you haven't learned. It's as simple as that. So, in conclusion, Donald J. Trump is not a racist, and I'll say to the people of America, if you want to put an end to terrorism and you want to make America great again, he's the best man for the job. My name's Bond. James Bond, leaving you shaken but not stirred. Bye bye.